Good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, May 29th, 2019. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice right now we are below the key range low right now. This is the key range here from the 2961s down to 2800. The midpoint here is the 2880 zone. That impulse sell-off here set the range. We bounced back to the midpoint and cemented that key range, and now those boundaries are very, very important. At the moment we are below the key range low, and that provides opportunity. If a rejection, or should a rejection occur somewhere between 2760 and 2800 here, we could see a bounce back to 2880 to 2900. That could be a near-term bounce opportunity should a rejection occur and should prices start to push back above 2800 with conviction. On the other hand, right now everything is very bearish at the moment. We've seen this thing sell off. The pullback was also sold off significantly here, and so far we are very, very weak with price pushing through and below the 2800, which means we could be looking at the next target down, which is 2720. That's the 50% expansion target right there. If we were to reject here, we would go equidistant back up to this target. So instead we're not, and we're pushing lower. So I would say any pullback to 2800 that fails to see acceptance above that zone over the next day or two or three could open up a continuation downward. Remember, one last major level we have down below is the 2703.75. That is this level right here, which is the midpoint of the prior key range from last year. So again, that's going to be a major target to reach after failing to hold above the 2878 half. So keep an eye on 2800 right here. Any failure to get above that zone today or in the next few days here could open up much more weakness to the downside. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ is down about 60 handles here today. Very similar price action to the ES. You can see the exact same key range from the impulse high to the sell-off low. Then you pop back to the midpoint, and now you have yourself your key range. 7300 is very important here. That's the bottom of the key range and a nice round number. If we see some sort of signs of major rejection here below this key range, we may bounce back to 7600 and as high as the 7650. But if there's any failure to do so, again, we start working our way down to the next major extension targets, and in this case the next major target down will be right here at 7K. So 7K is going to be the next key target to reach for the NQ on a swing basis, especially if price cannot get back above 7300 soon. Alright, let's take a look now at crude oil. This one is down 3% today already. Major push downward here. Overall, this has been a very bearish move since we had the narrow range here that broke down hard, a failed high that led to another move. Over here was another narrow range that led to major selling pressure here. We had each of these kind of lined up ahead of time. In fact, especially this one here where we mentioned that this could have a big move. It broke down and had a huge drop back toward 57s, and now after a couple of days of digestion here, we're seeing a stop run day down through the previous session's lows, and it appears to be working toward the next major support level down, which is 55s. You can see this major LVN right here. That LVN is probably the next target down. We're still $2.30 plus cents away from reaching the 55s, but that could be a very real target. Perhaps not today, but maybe over the course of the rest of the week we may see that target. And should we see a tested 55s, that might offer a pretty significant bounce opportunity, perhaps to the tune of $60. So there could be a bounce as high as back to $60 from the 55s, and then we'll see what happens, because that could lead to another round of weakness next month as we work back toward value at 49.17. So that is composite VPOC there. We've rejected up here prices at 65. We've broken down through prices at 60. The next two key levels down now, 55 and 49.17. We will see if price continues to work toward those targets. Alright, let's take a look lastly at gold futures. With the market down this morning, gold is up. This one's up about 0.5% right now. We have these upper highs right here that continue to be very important. We have this lower key level here at 1270, which continues to be important, and now we're kind of stuck here between those two boundaries. So 1305 important, 1270 important. We could theoretically continue to bounce back and forth within this range before we see some sort of major expansion opportunity. Again, these highs are going to be very important here, but I would still be watching that 1305 here for major continuation. So we'll see how this develops. We are stuck in the chop. This is the previous month's close price, that blue dotted line, and it just continues to trade around that level. So we could continue to see further range bound action with an upward bias within the range. Outside of 1270 and 1305 will open up the next major move, and this one could be due for a significant move soon. Been coiling up for a while. This type of range here is ready to blow. Will it be to the upside? If so, 1350 to 1370 could be a great target. Failure to hold 1270 here opens up a move back to 1200 and perhaps as low as 1180. So right now, this thing's really coiling up. We'll see which way it starts to go here pretty soon. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how the rest of the session shapes up. Good luck, trade well, and I will see you in the trading room. Take care.